Hi, everyone. As you may know, I've been to Dusseldorf for the sports innovation organized by the DFL, the league in Germany managing Bundesliga, for an event that lasted 2 days. It was absolutely a great event. I was invited by them to moderate two panels. It took me 2-3 days to sink in all the content and all the interaction I had at the event. And I think in the end, it seems that what we call future in the past is starting to materialize, meaning in terms of feasibility, the thing that we have imagined, the experience that we have thought it could be possible are now technically possible, feasible, working. There were always excuses like, oh, we don't have Wi-Fi in stadium, or the latency is too high. But I think in many of these cases, and we'll go through some of them, the technology is there. So we may be at a tipping point where finally we will be able, in real cases, to see if the other part, because feasible is one thing. What we need to understand is how usable and how valuable are these experiences. And I'm talking about fan-facing experiences, performance, or B2B more technologies. I think we are finally at the level where we will be able to judge if the idea we had in the past are good ideas or not. I wanted to do a quick summary of what I've seen, and so let's go through quickly some of the things that I saw, like in a slideshow, basically. So the venue was amazing. It's the third time that this event has happened in the last 6 years. I've been there all 3 times. I've also been in New York twice, one in Beijing with the same concept, sports innovation by the Bundesliga. And in this case, Dusseldorf did it again very well. The venue is amazing. The stage, this is a very immersive event. So there are physical football matches, men and women played on the field, even American football, so the other football, but we'll see it later. And the stage is on the stand. So there is this amazing thing that you're talking or you're listening to people presenting stuff, and you see football playing in the background. It's quite unique. And the technology and the innovation are tested live, and that's the scary part, directly from the pitch. So, and that's me preaching. I've been on stage day one. The panel was about immersive experiences and mixed reality. And it was quite a good combination because we had these nice people on stage. Eric Bobon, the famous group, Emmanuel Roger, immersive, Lucas Rodznovich, hosting DFL, Aaron Amendolia, NFL, and Ben Latke from MLB Europe. So 3 leagues, a tech provider, and another tech content provider. So we saw a sequence of things. It was very complex. I normally memorize everything, but this time I need, also for the timing, we had 40 minutes to go through all the videos, the live demos. It was super sophisticated and complex to manage, but it worked well in the end. And we started with Lucas from the DFL explaining why they're so interested and they're pushing this kind of experiences, because they want to basically explore not only the technology, but the use of technology, how the Bundesliga can, and the DFL in general, German football, can really always be sure that they understand what is going on. And in some cases, they are in front. In some cases, they wait for things to develop. But they want to be in the know. They want to take decisions very informed. They want to test things as they are available to bring the best football they can to the fan, but also the best football. So they need to improve the game as much as they can. And then Aaron Mandolia showed us what they did with immersive, with Emmanuel. It was the demo was a stadium app where you move the phone and you would see real-time statistics on the pitch. It was amazing because that latency is very, very small, because to be able to put your phone and see that was mixed reality in that sense. You interact with the physical space and you would see augmented reality graphics on the phone while you're watching. So you need almost theoretical zero latency. There was a very cool demo from the NFL. Then Ben Latkin showed us 2 things. The first one, that is mixed reality in physical space, was the one that they did at Trafalgar Square when they basically created a real batting place, but with an immersive experience in front with a screen. So you would really strike the ball, but then you would see it on a huge screen in Trafalgar Square. It was a way to do a kind of fun zone for them in London. And then we had Eric Beaumont, that the famous group is famous for creating these very lively AR things that you've seen a lot of times with the NFL, for example, the Nickelodeon example. Many other examples. NFL 100, which I had an affection because it was developed. The idea was developed by us and the NFL some years ago, before the NFL 100, together. And then other cases. And then a live demo, I don't know if you've seen it before, the live Panther itself. So it was moving the cameras that they put in the stadium, in the Dusseldorf stadium. And there was this Panther, 3D Panther, playing and scaring everybody in the stadium, also with the noise. It was a live demo that was quite impressive. And then we moved to maybe the thing that everybody was expecting, was curious about. So computer on your face, mixed reality on Apple Vision Pro. The live match was playing. They had a recreation of the live match obviously in a VR space, but it was immersed completely in the space. And there was Jade, who's the chief product officer at Immersive, demoing to everybody what she was seeing. And so it would be different things like that, or the one in this case, it's American football. So showing how from there you can organize your viewing experience, both with screens, data experiences or statistics, etc., but also the live field in front of you. I've also seen a stealth mode demo of basketball. I can't mention anything more than that. That was impressive. I was playing with it. Obviously, with the visual. Obviously, I had to test it. I look like a dork, but it was quite a good test. Obviously, it was not perfectly calibrated with my glasses, etc., but it was really something that makes sense. I don't know, again, the adoption. How many hours will people really use it? We are at the start of something, but maybe, I cannot guarantee, it's something that starts to really be working, feasible, valuable, usable. Let's see. On the other hand, Dusseldorf is a great city, so we had a very cool dinner in a very cool place. It's unexpected if you don't know Dusseldorf, but it's really a very cool city with different areas that are really nice. The second day, I was preaching again on stage, and this time it was about performance and how data can enrich the game of football. So we had, again, people from the DFL, Sport Tech, a referee, JB, who's a strategist for La Source, and then a coach. And we tried to see all this technology not for the fans or so broadcast or stadium or computer in your face, but really to improve the game and anything around the game, to produce a better product of football at the beginning. And we started with Hendrik, then Hendrik Weber, who's also leading the event from the DFL side of you, Christian Holzer, who's an ex-colleague and the CEO of Sport Tech Solutions, Alexander Feuerholder, that is one of the leading the referee teams in Germany, Jean-Bastien Ayot, who's a strategist for La Source, and Manuel Baum, who has been a coach, is now a coach of the academy for RB Leipzig, so coaching point of view. So if you want, those two, Alex and Manuel, are the client of anything that the technology and the league put together in this case. So we started with something that was really impressive again. Hendrik was explaining their approach to trying to recreate as much as possible data about the player on the pitch with what is technically called limb tracking. So if tracking at the beginning was XYZ, this is tracking with a lot of information about the body of the player. So in that sense, you're able to recreate, I don't know if you can see, that's the real game, and we have on the screen the TrackUp output that is basically with few seconds of latency recreating, if you want, an FC24 experience, but based on the real game with really the movement of players. It's not fake players moving around. If I move my arm, and that's obviously used for many things in performance. Forget for a moment the fun-facing aspects. And Christian also explained how it's accomplished solution, obviously, because you have a lot of data to aggregate. There is a complexity of data that is increasing. There is a complexity in latency of data and video to be put together, obviously. And how Sporttech is providing this solution. On the other end, we also discuss the other use of this kind of things with different technology, with spectrum technology. That is the automated tagging of events. So continuously creating metadata around the game that is obviously used from coaches, etc. So the coaching perspective, there was something that I learned from Manuel Baum. That is, they analyze this movement of the body. And as football, he says, is based on three things. Perception, so the player understands what happens, takes a decision, and then has to execute. So perception, decision, execution. And he was saying that by being able to analyze the movement of the body, you understand if a player can intercept the ball at a certain point, because the movement, how he moves or she moves the body, already means he had a decision, etc. So it's a super sophisticated coaching techniques that are possible with this one. On the other end, as we move to connected ball, so we had an example of the connected ball, then we move to other officiating technology. Referees are obviously helped when technology can support them in the decision. There was a real case for VAR, which is operated like that, in this case by Sporttech Solutions, where there was a match playing, and we waited for a real fake case of VAR. So we were able to also listen to the referee. They have a very technical the language between them, and then the referee announced the VAR decision. So everything was demo live to the people in the audience. And at the end, we also tested what the ref cam was doing when the referee had a body cam. I think it was great to talk to Jean-Bastien because he brought a different angle. So he brought an angle from different leagues, all the people that he's consulting for as a strategist with La Source. And we saw that a lot of leagues are, if you want, listening to what's happening in the market. Only few are clubs are fully adopting this technology already. But his idea that this is really starting to materialize, as I said at the beginning, and this is technology that can really improve the game, not just be gimmick created by techies like me in the past. So what else? There was an exhibition area with a lot of companies, big, small, etc. There was an innovation lab with some cool things to watch, Sporttech Solution. This was with tracking on the ball, Sportcast. I have to say, the beginning with Stefan Merkel, the CEO of DFL, was very energetic, huge screens with huge video. But I think the message is we really care about creating the best football product for everybody, for the athletes, for the coaches, for the fans, etc. And I think, and also being commercially successful. And I think it's amazing that the DFL does this event. It's invite only, so you don't pay a ticket, you just need to get invited, but it's an impressive event. And I'm not saying it because they invited me. I really think it is an impressive event. Obviously, my dear Shelley Palmer from the US every year comes with a keynote, and I sit down this time on the floor, just in front, to listen to him, because even if he talks about things that in theory I should know, and I know a bit about, his storytelling is always 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You stay there, you follow him, and you always learn something. I think his way of talking about AI, in this case, generative AI, is about productivity, talking to data, new products, and I was fully aligned. But his storytelling was really powerful as always. He also talked to the NHL, so another American league. This time, this event was really international, global, and multi-sport. And that was very cool because we had most league represented there. AWS with Julie Souza announced the new partnership with the DFL. Julie is a very powerful American exec for AWS Sport, and we met in New York already, so it was good to see her. And my old friend Shane Wade, who was in different capacity and is now leading the AWS part of broadcast in sport, so it was very good to see him on stage. And in the end, during lunch of the second day, everything was transformed in an American football pitch. There were two teams playing, I think, flag football. And Aaron Amendolia from NFL with Josh Emery were on stage, also with my ex-colleague Tony Page from Hawkeye, demonstrating all the technology in an American football event. It was also good to see Deloitte, Stefan Ludwig, and the real influencer. She's a real corporate or B2B creator influencer. She has like 275,000 followers. So it's another level of influencer for Deloitte. Voice of the innovation. And thank you to Alex and Nat, who were leading the stage and embarrassed me with some, usual comments on my scarf, etc. It was really have to have them guide us through the content. So, what to say? I really liked it, and again, I'm authentic. I would maybe expect a bit more diversity in the audience, but I mean, it's our tech industry has to improve. It's not the event that has to improve. On the other hand, let's see what they will have ready for 2026, because this is an event that happens every 2 years. But thank you, DFL, and thank you, Dusseldorf. Thank you, DLive, Sport, to organize from Dusseldorf. Ciao.